Young Thug is an American rapper with a unique musical style that some might see as a bit eccentric, but the success he's found in the world of hip-hop has turned him into one of today's hottest musical commodities, with a net worth estimated to be in the range of around $8 million according to sites like Celebrity Net Worth and Wealthy Gorilla. Despite earning himself an absolutely astounding amount of money over the course of his career, Young Thug spends an awful large amount of that cash on people other than himself. Whether he's buying artists signed to his label some of the nicest gifts you've ever seen, including a brand new Rolls Royce Cullinan for Gunna, or spoiling his closest friends like T.I. with an ultra rare customized watch. Young Thug is doing right by a whole bunch of people. He's also about as good a brother and son as you could possibly ask for. Not only has he bought homes and cars for each of his 10 siblings, but he also made sure that his mama's house has its very own functioning elevator to take the load off her heart condition.
You got a big family, right?
Yeah, my mom got 11 kids.
11 kids. You guys are tight? Are you tight there?
At all times. I just bought all of them, my house and a car.
Now, all that isn't to say that Young Thug doesn't spend money on himself. He most certainly does, but the primary way he tends to do it is by gambling it all away. Yup, it turns out that Young Thug caught the gambling bug at an early age and has never managed to shake it. Lucky for him, his singles, albums, and live concerts earn him so much money that as long as he's being smart about his bets, it's not something he should ever have to really worry about. That goes double when you take into consideration that all the extra cash he's earning as the founder of YSL Records and their stable of talented artists like Gunna, Lil Duke, YSL Fargo, and more.
We rich, and we ain't going broke.
And as if that wasn't enough, he's also making a boatload of cash on the side from the sponsored content he's regularly promoting on his Instagram profile. Hey, what's poppin', guys? Your boy Marlon Palmer back at it again with another video, The Rich Life of Young Thug. Recent drops in this series have included looks at Gunna and Coi Leray. Since this show works off request, don't forget to follow us with some ideas of who you want to see next, and I'll see you guys after the intro. Young Thug began his musical career by featuring on True Royals' She Can Go, which gave him a taste of the music industry and motivated him to seek out more. Starting in 2011, he began to release a series of mixtapes known as the I Came From Nothing series, and these tapes caught the ear of Gucci Mane, who quickly signed Young Thug to his 1017 Brick Squad record label. Gucci Mane, by the way, probably the best A&R in the game. The thing is, people weren't quite done courting Young Thug just yet. Despite making his allegiance to Gucci known, other labels continued to throw offers at him, including Future, who reportedly offered him as much as $8.5 million to sign with his record label. While Young Thug was able to resist these advances, he ultimately relented and ended up leaving 1017 to sign with an organization known as 300 Entertainment. Why the switch? Well, the exact details of their contract aren't widely known, but I believe it has something to do with a couple things. For one, 300 Entertainment must have come correct with a big offer. Was it as much as $8.5 million? Maybe, maybe not, but it was probably in the same neighborhood. Now, most artists receive a signing bonus when they team up with a label, and considering how highly sought after Thug was at this point in time, somehow I don't think the industry standard $200,000 was enough to secure his talents. It wouldn't shock me to learn that 300 Entertainment offered Young Thug somewhere in the ballpark of 7 figures to get him to jump ship and become one of their flagship acts. Young Thug founded YSL Records in 2016, and that means he's getting a taste of every album sold with his label's name printed on it. As high as 85%? Probably not. After all, he's also splitting some of these profits with 300 as well. But with hot up-and-coming acts like Gunna on his list of talent, there's no way Thug isn't earning hundreds of thousands, if not millions, from his extra source of income. He's also making a killing off his streaming numbers, with hit singles like Franchise, Stay Down, and Go Crazy getting constant clicks. His coffers are getting filled to the brim with all the money he could want. For instance, more than 367 million spins on Spotify, Go Crazy would be one of his highest earning tracks. I love that song, and I really hope we're outside this summer to enjoy it. Spotify offers artists around $3,500 for every million streams of their songs, which means that they paid out nearly $1.3 million to Thug for that one song. Now remember, he's only seeing around 15% of that, so technically, he's earning somewhere in the neighborhood of $192,000, which is still a whole hell of a lot just for one track. The final aspect of Young Thug's career that earns him a boatload of cash are his concerts. Now obviously, with the state of the world being what it is right now, touring plans for most artists have been put on hold. That includes Thug, which is really tearing him up inside. Why? Well, because according to him, he makes as much as $500,000 per show and estimates he's lost millions over the course of this pandemic. I would be a mess too.
See, it's gonna cost me double, right? I ain't gonna be able to do the shows, and then the money that I get for the shows. If I don't do these 10 shows, nigga, that's goddamn, that's five amps. but then I don't make 5 million.
Thankfully, he can always fall back on some tried and true sponsored content on his Instagram profile to help make up for that red in his ledger. In the recent past, Young Thug has worked with clothing line brands like Addicts Only, as well as Spider Worldwide, repping their flashy attire and earning himself a healthy payday in the process. So now that we know how Young Thug earns his money, let's take a look at how he likes to spend it. First and foremost, the one thing Thug appears to spend the most amount of his money on is other people. Only a few months ago, he bought his #1 selling Billboard artist Gunna his very own Rolls Royce Cullinan. This luxury SUV is black on the outside with some chrome finishing, and the interior is equally as dark with some sky blue accents that pair perfectly with that blue Louis Vuitton sitting in the back seat. For those of you wondering, that's a $330,000 vehicle. Actually, it's around $333,000 when you factor the price for that handbag. But signees to his own label aren't the only people that Young Thug likes to reward. He also enjoys giving out gifts to some of his homies, like this rare custom-made watch he gifted to T.I.
Alright, hey, 3 Stack, come pick yours up. Nah, real deal, man. I'm speechless. I appreciate it. Love.
There's only 50 of those timepieces in the entire world, and apparently Thug owns all of them, giving them out as gifts to the people closest to him. Considering how unique his Audemars Piguet watch is, the price tag must be out of this world, because the majority of their regular stock can cost upwards of around $60,000, and some sites like All Urban Central estimate this particular piece to be worth as much as $1 million. Now, Young Thug might be here for his friends and co-workers, but he's also always looking out for his blood. Thug comes from a gigantic family, and he's taking care of each member by buying a home and vehicles for each one of his 10 siblings. Yes, 10 siblings. I'm gonna keep saying that for you guys.
You bought all your siblings a house and a car?
Swear to God.
You
Everyone.
You get money like that?
Man, real deal money, man, Leo. Man, I'm talking about the real money.
And no, he didn't give us any area codes or clarify the makes and model of these purchases, but it's still an admirable decision on his part, especially the choice to buy a home for his mom with a fully functioning elevator so that she can take it easy with her enlarged heart condition. What a son.
Mom, what's that? Big blood.
But all of this isn't to say that Thug doesn't drop any money on himself. It's just that when he does, it tends to be on his favorite pastime, gambling. It turns out that Thug turned to gambling as a kid when he had to earn money for things his dad was unwilling to buy him. So Young Thug began robbing and rolling dice. Later on in life, he might have stopped with the robbing, but he's still messing around with Lady Luck.
Slime.
Not only has he admitted to losing over $100,000 on one bet with LeBron James, but he's also said in the recent past that a trip to Las Vegas took over $800,000 from him on one go-round.
Man, Vegas just won $800,000 from me, man. Man, I threw liquor everywhere in that motherfucker.
Thankfully, that's not always the case with Young Thug. He's skilled enough gambler that he's also won big many a time. His creative director BLB once told GQ, "There are two thugs, one a rapper and one a gambler. This ain't Thug, it's Lil Jeff. I think he likes shooting dice more than rapping. I saw him win a $100,000 watch a couple weeks ago. Lost all his money and then took it all and the watch. Tricked him. He's slick, that's why they call him Slime." Well, regardless of what they call Young Thug, the one thing everyone should be referring to him as is successful, because few rappers have managed to climb to his level as quickly as him. Alright guys, I think we'll bring this video to an end here. What did you guys think of the rich life of Young Thug? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow our series on Instagram at Before They're Famous and vote on what's next. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.